we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. We got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Hello. Well, I don't even know where to begin right now, but maybe we'll just start with this little guy. This is William Wilson, like wool. We've just been calling him Wilson. We've been here for probably about 5 days now. I will tell you the full story of Wilson. But first off, I just want to say hi. How are you? I am Carrie, if you are new here, and if you've been here before, welcome on back. I'm coming to you from the Homestead that we don't fully have a name for. We have a couple of different ideas, but if you didn't know, we recently moved to a little homestead here in a little spot in New Zealand. This is on 2.5 acres, and it's a little slice of just something we've dreamed up for a very, very, very long time. Wilson came into our life unexpectedly on day 2 and has been just the sweetest thing on the planet. I have been bottle feeding him. He is an orphaned lamb. His mom and twin brother both passed. We actually got him with his brother the first night. A shepherdess that lives nearby brought them both over. She's already caring for an orphaned lamb, and she found the 2 of them, and she said, I don't know if they're going to make it because the mom passed shortly after they were born, and she didn't know the last time they were fed. She was like, you know, essentially do your best, but I don't know if they'll make it because they were really, really, really weak. So we did everything we could when we first got them. Wilson's brother passed probably a couple hours after we got him, and they were both really, really weak. Surprisingly, his brother at first seemed like he had more energy, but they both, they were both really weak. Wilson was kind of the underdog that came through. We have just been caring for him. I have essentially been feeding him every 2 hours. The shepherdess, our neighbor, gave me all the tips and what I needed to, feed them right away. Colostrum is something that's really important to lambs, which I've just learned so much over the last 5 days. We're taking Wilson today to the vet to just get looked at, just to make sure that he's good, just because he was away from his mother so young. So that's the biggest update that I have for you guys, but a lot has been happening here. We have slowly but surely, I mean very slowly but surely, have been getting ourselves sorted. Wilson threw us for a little bit of a curveball, so my attention has been on him a bit, but we've also been taking care of just filling in cracks in the walls and preparing to paint. We're gonna try to DIY all of this stuff. This is our first time ever doing anything like this, so there's a little bit of raindrops on the screen, but hopefully it's not bugging you guys too much. It's sprinkling just a little bit. It just started, but it's really soft, so it's quite nice. We've had a little bit of rain here and there today, and it's going to rain, I think, for the next couple of days. And then on Sunday, we'll get some sunshine, which is actually my birthday, September 12th, so that will be nice. When we moved in, we noticed that there were sheep grazing. When we looked at the property, there weren't any animals grazing on the property, but from the time we looked at it to the time that we moved in, our neighbor's 5 sheep, he has a bunch of sheep, but 5 of them were grazing our paddock, and we just told him essentially, like, don't even worry about it. We think it's beautiful to have them grazing, and they're helpful for the grass, obviously. They graze the land, and that makes so we don't have to mow it, and they fertilize the land, which is great, so we're fine with it. And we've got little Wilson here that will one day be in the paddock himself, and then our shepherdess across the road has another little lamb that she's taking care of right now, so she's actually gonna put him in our paddock at some point so that Wilson can have a friend, and it's just a community of, you know, just animals all around us. Our neighbors are 2 horses and a pony, a little white pony, which are so cute. I'm having a lot of pinch me moments here, I have to say. Like, the view, the lifestyle, the sounds, the smell, everything is just really bringing me to life, and I feel just over the last 5 days, I feel more myself than I have ever felt in my life. And it's crazy how putting down roots somewhere and just living the life that you kind of always dreamed of. I always dreamed of living a life like this, and Alex and I have been dreaming up just being here in this moment, having a home like this. I have to give some love to Alex because he's just kind of like jumped into this, and watching him just figure out how to like deal with all the cracks in the ceilings and just like watching tutorials and like figuring it out. We've always rented. We've never had to figure this stuff out on our own. There was a leak on the side of the roof where like the water was not going into our rain collector. We're on rainwater, so it was really important to kind of like figure that out. And, you know, Alex got up on the ladder. I'm like holding the bottom. It's raining, and we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, this is home ownership, like figuring out all of this kind of stuff. We are tomorrow having somebody come in to look at the bathroom to see what we can do with renovations for the bathroom and the kitchen, and just kind of like ask him questions about different places that we might be able to renovate. So I can sit down here and talk for a very long time, bringing you guys up to speed about what's going on, but we actually have to head out because we are going to the vet. We're bringing the lamb and Lanka in because Lanka's been having an ear infection. So we've got a lot going on, but yeah, we're getting everything sorted, and I'll bring you guys along with me. I've honestly just been living in the moment lately. I haven't been vlogging or talking to camera over the last week because I've just been like there's so much to just take in. It was important for me to like sit down and piece this all together for you guys and tell you how I'm feeling and say hello, and I'm going to bring you guys along throughout this entire journey. I just needed these like first 5 days to like not vlog and just kind of like take it in, look around, and yeah, I'm feeling really good though, and I'm happy that you guys are here with me, so let's go. I can't believe I didn't tell you guys about Frida and Diego too. I've named off a lot of the different animals that we have on our property and around our property. Frida and Diego are 2 white ducks. One's full white, the other one has like speckles on him, and they are called Frida and Diego now because we were trying to think of a partner name, and we felt like that was very fitting for them. And they they chill. They're beautiful. They hang around the property. They come in and out. It's really funny to watch them waddle across the paddocks because they go from like one little pond to the next. And it's really cool because when we knew that we had a pond, I was like, we have to get ducks. But when we looked at the property, there was nothing in the pond at all, and we were like, okay, we're gonna get ducklings, like we'll get ducks. And then the first day that we were there, we noticed these 2 white ducks that kept coming up to us as we would approach the pond, and they just haven't left since then. So right now we are on our way to the vet, as I said, and I was just thinking, only in New Zealand can you go to the vet and you're bringing, you know, all of the vets are like, oh, you got your lamb? Yeah, bring your lamb. Or bring your dog. Or bring your cat. We were thinking about how many houses around us right now probably have orphaned lambs in their home right now, people caring for them and bottle feeding. There are probably so many because right now it's spring, there are so many lambs being born every day, and it's quite common actually for them to be orphaned for lots of different reasons. Sometimes I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Ewes will...
You should probably clarify what an ewe is.
An ewe is a female sheep. I just learned that as well. I'm learning a lot about sheep. And Wolson is a ram, so he's a boy, so he'll have little horns come out at some point. But ewes sometimes, you know, a lamb will be born and they won't want to mother the lamb. They'll just not show any interest, or they'll pass for some reason. Sometimes they'll have triplets and not all of them will make it. Sometimes they'll have twins, and you know, having more than one baby can be hard on them. This is my favorite part of Wolson's entire situation. This little fuzz on the top of his head.
It's so soft, too.
He is so incredibly soft. And you can just see his wool here. Like, it's just beautiful.
If you want to moisturize your face, you just rub your face in that little wool area there.
Lanolin.
And you just get the lanolin all over it. It's just like natural skincare.
I just love his little fuzz on the top of his head. He's already asleep. Card makes him sleepy, huh? It is the day after. Me, Lanka, and Wolson are in the house right now, waiting for Alex to get back because we just went in the car to kind of check down the road because our power went out. There's a serious storm going on right now. It's a wind storm. So the power went out and we figured it was because of that. So we drove down the road to see if that was the issue. And we saw a tree down in the road. We couldn't go that way. There's another road leading out to town that we didn't end up taking because we decided to just come hunker down. We saw our neighbor who's lived in this area for 50 years. He was a character and very cool. And we met him, which was nice, and he essentially said that this is a bit violent for the wind in this area usually, so it's not that common. You can probably hear it right now in this video. But I've got Lanka and Wolson here. I'm feeding Wolson right now because we had to use the propane from the caravan to heat up water and milk because we have an electric stove right now, which we're going to eventually renovate to have gas. Do you hear that? It's insane. We were in the middle of editing our videos. We put up this little edit bay for us to get a video up this weekend, which I don't know if we're even going to be able to anymore because we don't have electricity right now and we don't know how long it's going to take for them to put it back on. Alex is driving down the road to just kind of see if the tree has moved, to talk to a couple neighbors and see if we can call the electricity company that we're with, because we just switched over to a new electricity company, obviously, because we just moved in. And so we're gonna call them and see what's up. Likely what happened is there's a power line down in this area because the wind is so ferocious right now. I am going to continue feeding Wilson because got his little eye, he got eye injections yesterday on his lower lashes because he had inverted eyelashes, which they said is really common with baby lambs, and so they did a little injection in his eye. So Blanca's right here sleeping happily next to me and the fire, and yeah, Alex and I were just laughing and we're like, we're gonna have thick skin. We're gonna get thick skin living in this house on this homestead in this small town and having power go out every once in a while and everything, but we're in good spirits. Alex popped a beer open and then left, so he left it with me, so I'm just gonna have this beer by the fire, wait for him to get back, and just see what happens. Take it slow, take it step by step. I was gonna take a shower before, but I just don't see that happening right now. I'm just gonna chill here with the little animals, give them love, tell them it's gonna be okay. Lonka gets a little bit anxious with intense wind, but right now actually he seems fine. He's just sleeping. These moments, if you allow yourself to live in them instead of getting frustrated with them and essentially just kind of laugh at the situation, then it makes everything a lot easier. Like somehow, like life has completely changed and shifted recently, and it's I don't know, it just feels like an adventure to the fullest, and there is no boring moment throughout this. There's always something to do to keep you interested, and the story just keeps unfolding in different ways, and there's always like something around the corner. So this is what's happening right now. Of course, having the power out is not the most fun, but at the same time, we're here, we're in a home, we've got a warm fire, we've got adorable little love bugs and lots of love between us all, and that's honestly all you really need. So we'll be okay. So we survived our night of no power. Actually had really great sleep. The lamb didn't wake me up one time. Wilson slept through the night. Blanca was less itchy and scratchy with his ear. The vet did us good. And now we are having a cronut with vanilla bean custard.
Oh God, it's the simple things in life, honestly.
And I'm having a dirty chai. And what are you having, flat white?
Flat white.
We are at Clareville Bakery, which is a famous little local spot to get delicious pastries and breads.
We ordered a country sourdough loaf, and we asked for it to be sliced, and they tried to slice it and said that it was too hot to be sliced, and that is a great problem to have.
We were like, no problem. She's like, just have your breakfast.
Because it's 7:33 right now, and this place opens at 7:30, and we are definitely the first people in here.
Usually I'd like to slice it, but we don't have all of our utensils, so we do not have a bread knife right now, so we're just gonna have our breakfast and then they're gonna slice it for us. But nice hot fresh country sourdough. I've got little Wilson in the orchard right now, which I think is a really good spot for him to chill right now because it's kind of like a smaller little paddock. I need to put some of the ointment in his eyes today. One of them's doing really well, the other one's still healing, but he's doing pretty good. Let me see this one. Oh, that one's so much better. You can actually see his eyelashes now. They were so uncomfortable for him before. Oh my goodness, look how much better your eye looks. You can see now. You can see me. Oh my gosh. You could barely even see out of your eye before. We're gonna give you some milk soon. But you're looking good. You're looking very good. Oh, happy days. You can see, you can see. What you doing, Butters? What you doing? Just running around? I can never really find this dog these days anymore. He's always just running around, exploring. All right, see you later. Nice talking to you. I just changed into something cooler because the sun is coming out. It is a beautiful day right now. My plan is to get this kitchen organized. As you guys can see, there's a pretty cute kitchen in here right now. It's like a little farmhouse kitchen. We're definitely wanting to renovate over time just because we cook from home so much and there's not a ton of counter space where you guys are positioned right now. There's just like a little bit, probably this long, maybe a little bit longer than my arm length of just steel, metal, countertop space. And then we have an electric stove. We really like having gas, so we'll eventually sort that out. We definitely want to get on solar at some point. And then we're rainwater, so we would be completely off grid. That way, especially last night, losing our power made us realize how much we want to go with solar. Obviously, there are so many benefits to going with solar. Right now with this kitchen, it's not going to get renovated until next year. The bathroom's not going to get renovated until next year either. We've scheduled for February, which that's kind of the case right now. There are so many contractors who are just booked out until next year. And then December is kind of a write-off because it's a holiday month and nobody wants to work through Christmas and New Year. So the guy we spoke to regarding the bathroom will be doing the renovation in February, but that gives us a lot of time to figure out exactly what we want to do, you know, what type of sink we want and mirror and all that kind of good stuff. I definitely showed him some inspiration and he is excited to work on it, but we have to wait until February, which honestly will come in no time. We have so much to do in the house as it is right now with painting, polishing the floors, moving our furniture in, and just like creating this space to feel like home. And so by the time February comes, it will be here in no time. So right now what I want to do, as you guys can see, there's just a bunch of random stuff in the kitchen right now. There's the vacuums on the countertop as well. And obviously we've just moved in here. We don't even have a refrigerator yet, which I just checked the delivery. It's probably going to be here in a couple days, but we've been here for about 6 days now. So that means that we've had to figure out what items to get at the grocery store that are a little bit more like camping as opposed to having refrigeration. So we had to get a lot more cans than we usually do and just items that don't need to be refrigerated. Now, I really like these open shelves. I plan on, when we do the renovation, to keep that charm in here. I really love that. So I don't know if we would just keep the shelving and then update everything else, or if they could update the shelving a little bit by painting it and whatnot. I don't know, but I really love the open shelves. My plan later on is to use all of my jars that I have from California. I used to love putting like walnuts, almonds, quinoa, pasta in clear jars with like these bamboo lids. And that's how I would store food like that we grabbed from often when we were cooking. And I plan on doing that on one of these sides, but I don't have all of those jars right now because, as I said, we have a lot of our stuff still in storage until we're done painting and polishing. So it's all in the plan, but what I want to do right now is just organize this space, even though it's going to look like a pantry on one side or whatever. But I just want to make it easier to flow through right now because it's hard to find anything right now because we had so much going on that we went to the grocery store and we just started like putting stuff on shelves and like we put some of our plates. We have a small amount of our plates right now, the ones that are kind of not our favorite, that we brought over to just utilize in the house right now while we're doing renovation and all that kind of stuff. An organized kitchen is crucial for us because we cook from home so often, even when we're in this kind of limbo phase of bringing in all of our like jars and our plates and cups and all of that stuff. So yeah, as of right now, I'm just gonna get to organizing.
you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep.
Milk break for Wilson. He's already talking to me. As soon as I walk over to him, he's like, "Bah." It's like, I know why you're coming. Yeah, hi. You ready for some milk? Do you hear that, Wilson? There's another baby lamb in the distance. There's another baby in the distance on the other paddock. Yeah. What do you think of that? Want your milk? Spider on there. All right, yum yum. Yeah. The stronger he gets, the Frida and Diego are jumping around in the pond. The older he gets, the stronger he gets. He gets a little bit more aggressive with the bottle. He'll like chew the nipple so hard and like pull it around. But he's been drinking so much better recently. Yeah, how we doing? Pretty good, huh? Yum yum. Yum yum. Loving that, aren't you? You are getting so much better at suckling this. Good job. I can't even handle how long Wilson's leg is. Look at this. When I'm feeding him, he just like hangs his little leg down and they're so incredibly long. It's too cute. Then he normally falls half asleep while he's doing this, but he's still sucking the milk slightly, but like very gently. He usually eats in like 3-minute intervals and then he's over it and then he wants it again and then he's over it. And he's currently feeding 4 times a day. Before it was like every 2 hours I was feeding him, but now it's 250 milliliters 4 times a day now that he's a little bit older. So there's a little thing on here where I can see how much he's drinking to keep track of it, because you don't want to overfeed them. It can be bad for them, and obviously you don't want to underfeed them. I just walked around the house and found some flowers that I could cut. The spring is just beginning, so I didn't take much of them, but I grabbed what I could find to add some color on the windowsill here in the kitchen, and I've got one of these little jars that I'm using for a vase. There they are. They look so pretty. Just add some color and life into the kitchen. Now I'm going to dry off some of these, just did the dishes, and I'll give you guys an overview of how things are looking in here. I just asked Alex if he would remove the curtains that were up at the top there. So he's removing them right now. They're not very pretty in my opinion.
Or easy to get off.
Or easy to get off.
The screws are all stripped, you know? They're flat, they're Phillips head screws, and they're all stripped. So maybe that's why these are still up here, because it's pretty much like, it's a challenge to get them off.
So he was able to remove this one, which then, you know, you can use these top windows, which are so beautiful. And it just adds more light into the kitchen. Yay!
You may want to get up here with a rag and give these a good clean out.
All right.
I'm gonna go
so much better.
I'm gonna go start prepping the other room.
Opens up those windows so much.
Totally. Yeah. So, oh my gosh. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So here is the finished product. Obviously there are some paint swatches and some putty on the wall because we're going to be painting at some point. But those are the little flowers I put together. This little dish rack. We've got this little New Zealand kitchen towel. Put some of the soap there on the edge. We don't have all of our knives here yet, but we put some up on the wall. That was actually already there from the previous owner, so we're just using that right now. Back here, I put some aprons, our aprons on a nail that was already on the wall for now. And then I organized this area. I am using this basket for just like breads and wraps and kind of just like pantry items, miscellaneous. And then we put the cutting board right here that was actually in the caravan because we haven't brought all of our cutting boards yet. So we brought that one inside here. And then I'm using this little pot that I use, or pan, I guess, for a bread that, or a cake pan essentially, for our fruits and potatoes and garlic and oranges. And then in here I have the bread that we got this morning from Clairview Bakery, that wonderful sourdough, which we will use with some of this avocado that I put in here. So we've got avocados, lemons, and bananas. And over on this side, I have some of our coffee mugs that we've brought over, and then some plates and some cups and other dishware. And then we've got our little Brita there, and then our cast iron and some cooking stuff up there. So the kitchen is feeling much better, so much more light. When you opened up those windows and removed the curtains, we were just like, why were those curtains there? Because you really don't need them in the kitchen. You want as much light in here as possible. And then there's the beautiful view from the window. I left my towel in the bottle out there, but yeah, that's what's happening. And I think these look really beautiful. I'm happy I did that. Add so much like life and color in here. While Alex is taping the small room, I'm going to show you guys some seeds that I have picked up. We're about to start painting in that small room, which is very exciting because we're going to be able to see what the paint color actually looks like. I picked up a ton of vegetable seeds and some flower seeds. I'll show you guys what I got. I got all organic spring onion. I got organic parsley and sweet basil and rocket seed leaves for some lettuce. There's some kale already out there. I got tomato. I'm pretty sure I got several. Yeah, I got 2 tomato packets because you can never have enough tomatoes. I love tomatoes. I use them for a lot of different recipes. And then I got organic broccoli and cucumber and some radish, which I love. And I can't wait to get these in. I also got some flowers. So I got these wildflower meadow. I thought that these would be really pretty around the house. Also near the pond, they could be really beautiful. I got some marigolds because these are really great to have near a vegetable garden because bees love them. And then these Iceland poppies. Poppies are some of my favorite flowers, my 2 favorite flowers as of right now. And for most of my life have been poppies and peonies. I feel like we're on the verge of changing up what they might be because I'm just like seeing so many new flowers around here, so I'm liking some other ones as well. But Iceland poppies, they had California poppies too, which I love, but they were out of them, so I got those. And I'm gonna go head over to the garden and just kind of assess the garden bed situation. I'll bring you guys along with me. I showed some of the garden beds on Instagram, but I don't think I've showed you guys in this vlog, so let's go on over. I am going to grab my gloves from the shed because just in case I feel like pulling some weeds at this moment, it's the perfect time to start the garden prep. So I'm just kind of gonna assess and see what's going on because there is a lot to do in here, but this is your first peek at the garden beds. There's 6 garden beds. These are 2 lemon trees that seem fairly new. They seem like they might be like 4 years old or so. And then these have all just gone completely to weed. So there is so much to pull out in here and add new fresh compost. There are actually I noticed these, a bunch of parsley little sprouts, which I can just get right back into the ground and get those growing. And then there's also some kale over here. So obviously this is all from the previous owners, but that's a bit of kale and it's actually really healthy. And I don't see any, like very, 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 very little pest situation in here. This is some gorgeous kale. This is great because there's already a trellis situation, an overhang for whatever veggie we decide to put here. So we should put something that likes to climb. So potentially cucumber, things like that. I just grabbed some stinging nettle with my gloves off. I don't know why, I just always take my gloves off when I'm gardening or doing anything actually that I should be wearing gloves for. I just came inside from the garden to eat something and I noticed these two guys out here napping together. You guys enjoying the sunshine? Wilson was already out here because I put him there in that little blanket. Lonky was not around, but I just walked out here and he was sleeping right next to Wilson.
Good boy.
Good boy. Yeah. Good boy. Just came in from the garden and brought some of that kale in that I showed you guys. And we're gonna do a little salad. I'm currently swallowing some of this amazing bread that I showed you guys that we got. Oh, it's so doughy and gooey and wonderful. And
Country sourdough loaf.
oh, and then we've got some chickpea action. We're gonna do some avocado, some pumpkin seeds, some olive oil and apple cider vinegar, salt, pepper.
We were thinking maybe even throwing an orange in there because we have one.
Mm-hmm. Add a little citrus or some lemon in there too for the dressing. But this is gonna be a delicious salad utilizing that kale that we just found. One of my favorite things about our place, the swing set. It overlooks the pond and it honestly brings me a extreme amount of joy when I'm in here. You know what I haven't done in a while? This type of swing. Woo! It is such a gorgeous day today. The storm brought us sunshine, warmth,